Mga kaigsuunan, magandang gabi sa inyong tanan dinha, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. At saka sa ating mga kaigsuunan o mga kapatid natin sa ibang bansa, naku talaga naman, may problema nga talaga tayo ngayon sa ating ah, bansang Pilipinas. Ang nakakagimbal o ang nakakamangha lang mga kaigsuunan ay ang problema natin na ating hinaharap ngayon ay hindi po nagmula sa ordinaryong mga mamamayan, kundi ito ay nagmula sa ating pamunuan, sa mga taong namamahala, sa mga taong pinapaupo natin sa kanilang mga trono bilang mga tao na dapat nating sandalan in case of may mga problema tayo. Kaya naman, dahil sa ngayon na parang, dahil napansin natin na talagang kahit anong atake ng mga social media, atake doon, atake dito, para lang mapansin. Subalit, digma ang lahat. A lot of problems, social accusations. Alam mo yung mga social issues, a lot of accusations that we need more, we need an answer. Pero parang wala lang. Paano yun? So, a lot of issues that needs and need to scrutinize kung gaano ba katotoo ito. Pero digma ang lahat. Paano ba ito? Kaya dahil tayo ay mga ordinaryong mga mayan, dahil po kasi sa sinasabing unity team, kaya naman kasama tayo. Nailuklok din natin si President Marcos. Nailuklok natin siya doon sa posisyon dahil sa salitang unity team. So ang ibig sabihin, dapat may continue ang yung pamumuno natin at walang dapat magbago ng kalayo-layo naman. So if there will be changes, dapat medyo hindi masyadong malayo. Pero ang situation ngayon talagang malala na po. So bago tayo malihis ng landas, mga kigsuunan, mayroon akong kahilingan sa ating presidential sister na si Senator Amy Marcos. Highly respected Senator Amy Marcos, as you are the presidential sister of our president in the Republic of the Philippines. We beg you, Senator, and we ask your favor that please be a good advisor to your brother. Show us today your defiance and objections with your beloved brother when he continues the talk, no, when he continues to talk and tackle about a matter of war. This is absolutely false and preposterous. Hindi po kaaya-aya po talaga. Kaya, Madam Senator, nagmamakaawa kami sa iyo na I think in this point in time, your presence and your intervention is highly needed. Talagang kailangan talaga sa kapatid mo, Senator. Touch his arms, knock his heart. He really needs your presence. Talagang hindi sapat para sa kanya, Senator, yung i-announce mo lang on public. Kailangan na yung presensya mo, Senator. Alam mo kung bakit hinihingi namin ngayon, Senator? Kasi ganito yun, Senator. We know for the fact that the government is comprised of the three branches of the government. The executive, the legislative, and the judiciary. Alam natin na ang judiciary, sa judiciary, ang Pangulo din ang nag-appoint dyan. Ngayon, since nandyan ka, dalawa kayo nandyan sa legislative department. Okay, sa Congress natin, sa Senate, nandyan ka sa Senate. And yung pinsan mo namang si Martin Romualdez, andyan na naman sa House of Representatives. Siya ang Speaker of the House. So, sa madaling sabi, Madam Senator, I think, kumbaga, we have no place to hide, no way to run. Talagang, kundi wala na. Kasi kahit manggangal-ngal pa naman ang ibang mga tao, kami mga ordinary mamamayan, kahit manggangal-ngal kami ng mga ngal-ngal dyan, wala pa rin yun. We don't have enough power to oppose everything. Kaya naman, nakikiusap kami sa iyo na pakiusapan mo ng mabuti yung kapatid mo, Madam Senator. Kasi talagang he must be spiritually guided at this danger. Talagang at this point in time talagang kailangan talaga. Madam Senator, baka ano lang siya, baka kailangan lang talaga niya yung presensya mo talaga na ikaw ang kumbaga mag-suggest naman. Kasi ganito kasi, bakit kami ay parang nag-alala din, Madam Senator, kasi kami mga ordinaryong Pilipino, alam naman natin, Madam Senator, that the armed forces, the number of all armed forces of the Philippines, including the buong hanay ng PNP natin, alam naman natin, Madam Senator, na sila po ay under sa command ng ating Pangulo. Because he himself, the President himself, is the Commander-in-Chief. So ngayon, Madam President, kung yan ay maging sunod-sunuran ang mga generals dyan, susunod sa kumpas niya, ano mangyari sa ating sa ating Madam Senator? Kawawa kaming mga ordinaryong mga tao. So, most probably ang maligtas kung sakali mang magkamali ng kumpas ang Pangulo regarding the talk or the matter of war, kawawa kami. Ang mabubuhay na lang yung mga mayaman, yung kayang lumipad kung saan-saan puntang lugar. Pero ang Pilipinas, and the entire Philippines, paano naman, Madam Senator? Kaya naman, hinihingi namin sa iyo na kung maaari naman po, please, let him feel your presence. Kasi yung intervention mo na ay kailangan na po, Madam Senator. Kasi, pag nagkamali, ganito po kasi, ang banggaan po kasi, alam naman natin the biggest and the highest and the most powerful countries in the world is the United States. At umarangkada na yung China. Madam Senator, I will focus everything to you, ha? Kasi, kung tutuusin, alam niyo po kung bakit, Madam Senator, ginaganyan tayo ngayon ng ginaganyan tayo sa China ngayon, na parang it seems like binubuli tayo. Pero, it has a purpose. They have a purpose bakit ginagawa nila yon. Kasi magkapit-bahay tayo. At wala magkapit-bahay tayo. Nung bang panahon ni President Duterte, may ganun ba? Wala. Kasi, alam niyo kung anong kailangan dyan? Ganito po kasi, Madam Senator, bilateral talk. They have to talk seriously. They have to talk bilaterally in a very serious matter to address the certain situation that we have in the West Philippine Sea, and to think deeply what the countries, both countries, is supposed to do in a particular place of West Philippine Sea. Kailangan mayroon talagang mutual agreement. What I'm trying to insist is President Marcos, he should talk bilaterally, and no other countries, no other intervention of in US, for example. Walang intervention doon. Kailangan only China and the Philippines. Yan lang po ang maaaring mag-uusap dyan. Kasi kung hahantong man sa sinasabing magkaroon ng gyera ang Pilipinas at ang China, definitely wala tayong panglaban. Okay? Wala tayong panglaban dyan. Kumusta naman yung mga resources natin? Sa mga resources, wala tayong binabatbat. Na-search ko na lahat yung mga yung mga resources nila. Talaga namang wala tayong binatbat. Pangalawa, kung ang basic needs nga natin dito sa Pilipinas ay hirap na hirap tayo, paano na yun? Yun lang bang isipin natin? Bakit? Pag sinasabi bang 100% tulungan tayo ng US, tulungan tayo ng US, naku po, mabuti sana kung ang tulong ng US, like for example sa missiles, from US going to China, hindi po. They have to bring everything here in the Philippines. Kaya nga nangyari yung ganyan na mayroon tayong Mutual Defense Treaty at may mga establishment na ginagawa. At magiging imbakan po yan ng mga if ever mangyari yon. At hindi naman tanga ang Chinese, ang China, na hindi nila pakialaman yan. Pag dumating ang point na magkaroon na talaga ng bakbakan, kawawa ang mga Pilipino, ang mga Pilipino. Dahil una, alam naman natin mga strategies dyan. So, hindi dapat talaga mangyayari ito talaga. Kasi, bago man darating ang 100% na tulong ng Amerika napunta dito sa Pilipinas, thousands and thousands of casualties, yung mga innocent people na ang nawawala. Kumusta naman yun? At wag nating the soldiers also in the Philippines, they should not be complacent enough na they are soldiers, because ang kalaban nila ay mga soldiers din. Paano kung makunting-kunti na yung mga soldiers natin? Ano ang mangyayari sa Pilipinas? Silulusubin na tayo. Kawawa naman. Kasi una, kung ang mga Pilipino ngayon ay nagka-problema na sa basic needs natin because of yung alam naman natin na pagdating sa gasolina, sa mga oil, ang problema natin, tataas talaga ang mga bilihin natin. Ganon po talaga. Alam na natin yun. Kaya naman, kung maaari lang, mapigilan yung desisyon na hindi talaga ka nais-nais. Kasi kawawa ang mga mamayang Pilipino. Tayong mga mamayang mga mahihirap ang lalong magiging kawawa. Lalong maging kawawa. At babalik na naman tayo sa World War II. Kawawa na naman. So hindi ko maaari ka. Hanggat maaari sana, Madam Senator, talaga namang magmula sa puso mo naman sanang touch his arm and let him feel your presence. Kasi wala kaming nagsalita na ang mga social media, lahat na halos na ngayon may mga cellphone, nagsalita na, pero parang digma lang ang lahat. So, a lot of issues that needs to scrutinize, that should be scrutinized how true it is na narinig ko. Totoo ba ito? Pero wala yun. Nawawala lahat. Nadigma lahat. So, wala na kaming patutunguhan, kundi dadako muna kami sa iyo bago maggagalaw ang mamamayang Pilipino. Kasi pag gagalaw na ang mamamayang Pilipino, masakit din sa damdamin kasi isa din kaming naglagay ni President Marcos diyan sa kanyang trono para sana malinis yung dating hidwaan, dating usapin tungkol sa treasures natin sa bansang Pilipinas na nung during the tenure of your father na talagang paulit-ulit long consecutive years ang nangyayari. Kaya naman, si President Marcos, this is absolutely the grace from heaven that he's supposed to clean up everything tungkol sa bad reputations or bad accusations or allegations or whatsoever na nakapagbigay man siya sa inyong pamilya. And this will be the right time na sana malinisan na. But we know for the fact that our president, beloved president, highly respected president, is surrounded by the people who is not so whom he is not supposed to give his trustworthiness unto them. Hindi dapat siya hindi dapat, they are not deserved to get to have such assignment kasi it it crumples his mind, nasisira yung mga decision niya because of his trustworthy individuals. So I think naman you have enough power to embrace your brother, to let him feel your presence, to give advice. Kasi Madam President, hindi panatag ang aming loob kasi we have family, we have children. 'Di ba? Masakit po sa amin 'yon kasi mahihirap kami. Hindi namin kayang ang mga ginagawa ng mga hindi namin kaya. So, when it comes to kung bakit tayo kung bakit tayo ginaganong ng China, only one purpose. They need bilateral talk. Alam nila yung the conversation or the agreement between two countries, only Philippines and China. They need to talk bilaterally, seriously, spiritually, we use those terms kasi kailangan po natin yun. Ganito po kasi ang panahon kasi ganito po kasi ang masasabi ko dahil the president is only a human, a simple individual as well. The four concept or the four aspects of human being is first, kaya nga kailangan natin kumain. Okay, kaya nga kailangan natin kumain para yung physical body natin ay maging tama siya. Because ang body natin ay ang tahanan ng ating kaluluwa na kailangan maging mabuti siya. Okay? Yung physical body natin. Ngayon, punta naman tayo sa spiritual. Kailangan i-balance natin ang physical body natin para di tayo magkasakit at makamove ka. Tingnan mo, nagkaroon na ng konting flow. Di ba? Kailangan mo na manahimik. Kailangan mo ng pahinga. So, in other words, kailangan natin ang physically fit. Okay? Yun ay sa physical body. Pagdating naman sa emotional aspect, kailangan buo sana yung damdamin natin. Marunong magkiramdam kung ano naman ang kaganapan sa lipunan natin. Ano ba mga hinanaing? What are those grievances from the people? Okay, from the constituent. Dapat ganun po sana. Maramdaman natin kung ano na ang, kaya nga meron tayong physical aspect, physical body, at saka spiritual. Kumusta naman yung mental development natin or mental aspect natin? Is the president as well as the other people around him thinking so much about the welfare of the people? Yun na ba? Nag-iisip ba talaga ng tama? Kasi kung hindi na rin tama din yon. Gagalaw na ang mga Filipino people. Okay. So, paano naman yon? Yun, yung physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Ang spiritual, kailangan natin na balance din. Kasi kung puro na lang tayo material na bagay, wala yung spiritual, mahirap po yun. Hindi gagalaw ang ating buong diwa. Okay? Yung ating buong decision sa buhay, kung ang puso natin nagkukulang, ang isip natin nagkukulang, at ang spiritual natin wala, ang emotional wala. Hindi po talaga. Kaya, it must be balanced. The four aspects of human being must be balanced. Kasi, hindi po pwedeng gagalaw ng tayo. We have to adore everything to God and He will give us directions what we supposed to do in our daily life. Ganun po talaga. So, according to the statement of Senator Padilla, that the government, I think, ano ba yung sabi niya? The politics destroyed humanity. Yes, precisely. He got the point. Kaya pala mayroon tayong tinatawag na separations of the states and of the church. Totoo po yun. Kasi, nag-get na talaga agad ni Senator Padilla na politics destroyed humanity. Tama po yun. Kasi, dalawang kasi lang kasi ang politics eh. Maybe, when you are already placed by the people in your particular throne, in your particular chair, therefore you are trusted. All of you are trusted individuals. Okay? But, before you are going to do your duty, to start to do your duty, you need to oath according to the rule of law, according to the mandate that you're supposed to do in your assigned area, in your assigned position. Ganun po. Pero sa panahon ngayon na nagkagulo-gulo na, parang it is very critical, absolutely critical. Why? Because the particular problem that you are facing right now are not from the people who are living in the society. Hindi po sa mga simpleng mamayang Pilipino. But the problem arose from the pamunuan, our leaders. And when we speak of leaders, remember, I will state again, that the government is comprised of big three branches of the government. Executive, which is executive department, which is the office of the president and the vice president. The legislative, the department, which is divided into two chambers. Okay? That is in the Congress. From the Senate, the 24 members from the Senate, and from the House of Representative, which is a number of 316. And also the judiciary, which is for number 3. Biruin mo, ang problema natin nagmula sa ang ating hindi nagkasundo-sundo. Okay? So, in addition, for me, there's no need cha-cha or charter chains. Wala nang dapat ganon. Okay, you just try to ask me why. Kasi, ganito yon. Mag-charter chains ka. Ngayon pa lang kung mag-charter chains ka, the legislative department, I will focus to the legislative department. They are the law makers. The two chambers, the Senate, as well as the House of Representatives, they are highly intelligent and trusted individuals and lawmakers as well. If they are going to legislate, what are those problems na arises from the society, especially if they are nagkaroon tayo ng problema sa some members of the nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno, if they are going to scrutinize something about the problem or about the issue, oh my goodness, hindi lahat dyan ay magaling sa katanungan. Wala akong may pagmalaki dyan because I'm not a lawyer. I am a simple and I have a simple mamamayan Pilipino, at saka wala akong sapat na kaalaman dyan, but I have also I have only an average of understanding when it comes to to overview sa ating lipunan. Ganun lang po. But for me, hindi na kailangan yun. Kasi kung mayroon tayong mga amended law, okay? We have amended law or constitutional law. Gustong babaguhin. Okay? Gustong babaguhin in the process of using the three methods. Okay? The revision and amendments of the law. Yan ang pinag-uusapan, yun ang ugat. Pinag-uusapan sa mga problema natin. Okay? Ang revision and amendments of the law. Ang sabi amendments lang. Pero minsan hindi talaga maiwasan, babanggitin talaga nila na revision and amendments of the law. It is almost the same in meaning, pero magkakaiba yun. Ngayon, sa procedure na gamitin natin sa amendments of the law, of the Constitution, Napag-usapan naman doon, stated naman doon kung anong mga articles ang dapat baguhin. Pero ang problema lang kasi, gagamit ka ng unahan, sa legislative lang lumalabag na. Alam nila ang People's Initiative, Constitutional Convention, and Constituent Assembly. These are the strategies or the methods or ways of how the legislators are going to scrutinize everything about those amended law if there's something to be changed. Alam nila how they are going to how to modify or alterate the so-called articles of the Constitution. Alam nila yun kung papaano. But, there is but. Kahit alam na nila kung papaano yun, ginagawa pa ang labag. State for example, sa People's Initiative, dapat people who are living in the entire Philippines, people who are living in the society, they should know precisely about the purpose of People's Initiative because they are only going to answer with yes or no about that particular matter. Pero anong ginagawa? Hindi, it was not furtherly explained to the people. But instead, gumamat pa sila kung ano-ano mga bagay-bagay dyan para could arouse the interest of the people to decide everything about it. Diba? Malaking pagkakamali yun. Ngayon, kung doon naman tayo sa Constituent Assembly, that for me, that is supposed to be the better one. Because ang ganda-ganda ng benefits doon. You know what's the benefits about it? Because the brilliant ideas from the Senate and the brilliant ideas from the House of Representatives will exchange each other and, you know, magpapalitan na mabuting kuro-kuro, magandang kuro-kuro, and finally, magkaroon ng impact yung plano. But, since it is divided and not equal in a members of those chambers, it must be advisable for them to vote separately. To vote separately and 3/4, you know, sa percentage doon sa boto nila. Kasi sa People's Initiative, malaking gastusin yon. Kasi, siyempre, only 12% of the entire registered voters, 12% doon sa lahat-lahat ang pwedeng ma-qualify na oo ba o hindi. Pero hindi yon. Na switch tayo doon sa Constituent Assembly na kung saan halos hindi naman magkasundo ang ating mga legislative bodies. Okay? So, diyan pa lang parang pagapangay ng pagapangay hanggat maaari nang matupad ang gusto nila. Pero sa dami-daming problema, labas ng labas ang ating Pangulo, hoping for the expectations nila na makakuha ng maraming investors doon. Makakonvince ng mga investors from different countries. Tama naman sana yon. Wala namang problema doon. But since you are planning to change the Constitution regarding the economic provision, okay, which is the basis of our investors na safety ba sila pag pumunta dito? Okay ba? Mag-receive ba ang magiging business nila kung pupunta sila dito? Okay? So that could be the questions in their mind. Ngayon, kung ikaw ba namang mayaman ka, pupunta ka dito, nandoon ka, mayaman ka, are you going to put up your business here in the Philippines which has more questions, more problems? Diba? At aside from that, after traveling, a few days after when they are going back to the Philippines, andoon na kaagad, they are proud enough na nakakuha sila ng investments na billions of investments. That is only proposal. Hindi pa yan. Who do you think na may mamadali? Maaari nang wala pa matuloy dyan eh. Okay? Kahit may millions or billions ka diyang, billions ka nang, that is just a proposal. Kung ako naman ang mayaman sa ibang bansa, iisipin ko yan. Kumusta na bang estado na ngayon dito sa Pilipinas? Okay ba ang ano nila? Batas pamaraan nila, ganyan-ganyan. But the question now, in the Philippines about the Constitution. About the problems about the Constitution. So, paano yon? Matuloy ba yan? Hindi. They are going to abrogate everything. Babawiin nila yun. Okay. Ganun yon. Mawalang bisa lahat ang mga bagay-bagay na yan. Hindi yan matutuloy. Kasi may problema. Plus, sa usaping matter of war. Of course, my goodness. The term which is matter of war. Talk about war. Everything will be useless. And take note. Mas mabuti pang itigil muna. Itigil muna ang punta-punta sa ibang bansa because they are wasting treasures. Bakit? May alam mo walang gastos. gagastos yan. Ngayon, nagsayang-sayang lang kung mangyayari. Pa-continue yan. Bakit? Aba, mayroon naman palang mayroon naman palang billions of investment. Ibig sabihin doon, may nagtiwala pa sa ating Philippine Constitution. Okay? May nagtiwala pa sa ating ang Philippine Constitution natin na mga investors from outside of the Philippines. So kung may nagtiwala pa, ay di stop. Stop talking about economic provision. Sa ibang ano na lang, marami pa tayong problema. Huwag naman natin i-insert yan ngayon. Kung mayroon naman palang maraming investors na mapunta dito, okay? Billions of investments ang pupunta dito. Mayroon pala Yun na lang i-follow up. Pa-follow upin yan, hindi yan basta-basta punta yan dito. Kailangan follow upin yan. Tatawagan mo yan, kumusta ganyan-ganyan. To make an assurance, magtanong naman yung investors, so kumusta naman ito ganyan-ganyan. O diba? So, ano yon? Pagtawag ka agad doon, o pagsabi ka agad na mag-put up ako ng billions of money dyan sa inyo, sa business dyan, mag-invest ako dyan. O, mag-i-invest ka dito sa Pilipinas, na wala pang assurance kung kumusta, bakit? Yung bang usapin natin ngayon sa revision and amendments of the law, hindi ba matagal ng proseso yan? Baka matapos na lang yan, matapos na lang yung termino, hindi pa maumpisahan yan. Kaya dapat, it must be thoroughly studied. Everything must be thoroughly studied, scrutinize everything if it is said to be done. Okay? So, that's all for tonight. Thank you so much, mga friendship, mga kaibigan, mga mahal ko sa buhay dyan, especially people who are working in the outside of the Philippines. Okay? Sana makialam tayo ngayon sa ating lipunan kasi didma ko lang talaga ito. Pero nang dahil sa, parang hindi ko na rin matitiis, talagang kahit pa paano, I need to share something about my simple thoughts, my political point of view. Thank you so much. I am Kuya Bon.